I Know This Much, From Soho to Spandau. Written by Gary Kemp, read by Gary Kemp. To Finley, Milo and Kit. I have nothing to say, entirely, simply, and with solidity of myself, without confusion, disorder, blending, mingling. Montaigne. The annoying thing is that critics in 20 years' time will probably write a great nostalgic, dewy-eyed retrospective on how good it was in these clubs in London, and how these innovators were doing this, that, and the other. Steve Dagger, Sounds, 1980. Time, he flexes like a whore, falls wanking to the floor. His trick is you and me, boy. David Bowie. I stand opposite the house. I've come here for something. Ghosts, maybe. But what can I possibly expect? Others hold the key. I feel hurt by its silent disregard. The old step, shaped from children's play, looks deserted now, unattended, no longer the stage it once was, and sadly smaller. Looking up, I can just see through the first-floor window, the window nearest the pub now gutted and boarded, empty and silent. There's a shaft of light on the far wall of the room that reveals its size, and suddenly the geometry unfolds and begins to take shape. The two single beds pushed against each wall, the large walnut wardrobe, the arsenal scarf hanging like a smile on the moon landing wallpaper, and the square hole my father made in the wall to keep a caring eye on his sleeping babes. To the left, a small boy with a new guitar now sits on his bed. I should know him, but he's hard to see, hard to define. So many years have distorted him. But now I can hear the lively piano coming from the pub that spills people, all noisy and lewd with Christmas beer, into the cold street. I try to ignore them, to experience the guitar, strange in my hands. But the celebrations outside disturb my concentration. Laying it down on the bed, I cross over to the window to see what it is. And suddenly, there I am. London, 27th of January, 1999. There are moments in life when your entire confidence depends on the coordination between you and an inanimate object. Symbolically and actually, the problem was a noose around my neck. Every time I knotted my tie, the pointy bit was either above or below my waistband. Too long, and I felt like an accountant. Too short, and I resembled a Soho bartender. I rip it off again, wipe the back of my hand across my forehead, and try to steady myself before another attempt. I'd earlier decided to go for the pink Turnbull and Asser shirt, freshly de-pinned, but I'd changed my mind and broke sweat struggling to remove my cufflinks in order to change into the more sober white one. Pink had looked too presumptuous, a little cocksure. I don't want to give that impression. Unfortunately, clothes had always been an obsession. As a boy, there had been my snake belt and trackers, with their compass-in-the-heel bonus. Then tears spilt over desired Ben Shermans and budgie jackets. Two-tones, brogues, toppers, the thrill of my first Bowie loons, cheesecloth, plastic sandals, mohair jumpers, Smiths, straights, high tops, GI chic, loafers, kilts, Anello and David ballet pumps, and all the madness that was the 80s dressing-up box. The event determines the clothes, but the execution of putting them on prepares you for it. And right now, I'm suffering from nerves and in a bit of a state about the length of my tie. I struggle with the knot in the mirror and wonder if any of this really matters. What the hell am I thinking about? My hair's freshly trimmed, but my face looks tired and drawn from the lack of sleep. Last night I'd woken again to play out potential moments from the trial in my head, and had not slept since 4 a.m. God, this isn't working. A flush of insecurity pours into my chest, and I feel sick down to my knees, but the doorbell rings. Was that it earlier? And I pull up the heart-shaped knot, throw on my jacket and coat, and head downstairs. My tie will have to do. So, I hope, will my truth. Ian Mill fills the room. Not just physically. He has a large, well-stocked frame, a picture of his own success, but also in character. A Pickwickian presence born of Etonian confidence and class. Spy should have drawn him for
Sample complete. Ready to continue?